you're also a mother and you're taking classes and you're working hard towards getting your degree again. And I mean, you're always talking about continuing education, and that's what's making me want to continue my education. And I can't find the words that I'm looking for, but I just wanted to recognize you for all the work that you do, and your Shoptimize program, the business design to help women. I mean, that idea is great. Did you ever talk about it? I mean, she has this brilliant idea to help network women organizations, and this way, when you're buying these products and you're using her web design, you're helping support other women organizations and other women who are just trying to make it. So I really honor you.
If I could just say a few words, I just want to say how proud I am of all of you guys. What we do at Well Fund, we always feel as though we as Lucille said, give the seed, and we love to sit back and watch your projects grow. And it's so wonderful and so rewarding to see that this is the third calendar this year, and that people are learning from what you do and how we have projects that we're going to try to bring this representation together to campus. So I just want to say keep up the good work, and I also want to say thank you personally, because you've totally changed my whole image of beauty, not only for women, but also as I was driving around this morning and thinking, what's ahead in my day and so forth, and I was looking at the devastation in our trees and so forth, and I was saying, oh, geez, that's terrible, look how terrible that looks and so forth. And then I heard something on NPR, and they were talking about how actually these tree branches falling and so forth have actually created homes for forest, like wildlife in the forest and so forth. So there actually is functionality to things, and if we look at things that way, it doesn't look so bad. So thanks for opening my eyes to what beauty really is and how there's layers of functionality as well. Thank you.
What you've been waiting for. We don't let this is the only image we let out. We don't let anyone see, except for each person gets their page so they can approve it. Now you get to see the calendar. You'll notice, actually, we put the banners here from our 3 calendar covers, and this is pretty much our standard cover. And I want to say a little bit about why we do this cover. Women for Change is always, we lie in a circle. A circle is actually a very ancient symbol of female power. So the circle was very important to us. And if you didn't notice, we had circular sandwiches. I just wanted to point that out. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you know. So we lie in a circle, an ancient and universal symbol of unity and female power. We hold each other's hands to signify our support for each other. In our organization, it's really, really important for us to support each other, because all the images of beauty that you see around for women are to fight against each other, to be competitive with each other. And in Women for Change, we completely stand against that. We really want to actually support each other around those images. So we are women who are individually and collectively committed to changing the world to be a better place for women. So this year, our answer to the question, what do you embody, is that we embody support. So if you want to join us, if you want to come to our meetings on campus, you don't actually have to be a student here. We're graduate students, undergraduate students, faculty, staff. We have people who have come from off campus. And so we invite you to actually to join us. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the programs. And I also just want to thank Kathy. You can stand up for it. She's the one who took this photo. And Kathy's a little short. So as we grow, she actually had to get up on a step stool and take our photo. So thank you so much for being with us. The rest of this is about the women in the calendar. This is about you. This is about your story. This is about what embody what is in your body that carries you through. And so if you want, you are now going to see your page. And if you don't want to say anything, that's fine. When we get to you, if you'd like to stand up and say a little bit about your page, what you wrote, great. And if you choose not to, that's fine too. We'll start with Jan. Is that all? Would you like to say anything?
One of the reasons why I thought about participating in this calendar from the previous two, I've seen the clips that came through on notes and other things inviting folks to participate in the calendar. And this year I really felt like I had something to say. The past 12 months have really been about the paradox of my life. Every single one of us have these things that are true but contradictory. And as opposed to trying to explain them, this was the first year where I just laughed at them, lived them, loved them. And so the idea of what do you embody? Well, this whole past 12 months has been about riding that wave of things that shouldn't be true, and yet they are.
You already heard from me. Maybe to crack a joke, I think. This would be a circular argument.
A Becky.
Not my picture.
That's not your picture. Actually.
I don't know how that happened.
That's actually.
That's last year.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened, Becky. But
That was last year. You just didn't say that was last year. That was last year. You just didn't say that was last year. Sorry.
Okay.
We'll come back to that.
I will wait until I will this your picture.
Oh, wow. Let's wait. So February is there.
your hair's not here.
There's not here. Okay.
Esther. Esther's here.
I brought it on integrated into visuality, and the reason I chose it is because I'm not afraid to be myself or to be laughed at or to be made fun of. It doesn't really matter. As soon as I'm being myself, pretty much makes me happy. About it.
Hi. I work with an organization called Not for Sale Campaign. I also own my own business, so as a woman, I feel so blessed that I can do so many different things in my life, and I'm actually a very spiritual person, so I do it all to serve my God. So I just feel very blessed, and I was honored to be a part of your calendar. And I'll be here soon.
Yes. And I want to say there's some flyers around, and outside Karen.
Yeah, that's what we just okay.
Oh, no, hold on.
Yeah.
You talk about
Go
Karen.
ahead.
She just said that one day.
Karen Herbert will be here to do a program for us on human trafficking and sex and slavery, which she's doing amazing work to end. It will be in this room at 1:30 to 2:45.
It's Monday on the 21st.
And my co-director is here, Steve Farrar, who works with me on the Sale Campaign, and my husband. So both my men and my life, and my brother.
On a related note,
Yeah,
this was a confusion.
in case you
Had an
guys-
announcement.
Right. In case you guys aren't classes or whatever, you can't be much into first. I think human trafficking and modern day slavery is something that everybody should be aware of and that everybody should be taking strides to fight against. So I'm definitely hopping on that. There's a documentary called Not My Life, and it has just been released. It's by a man named Robert Billimer, who spent 4 years and traveled across 5 continents to document and capture the issue of human trafficking and sex slavery. And he also, in this same film, gives us a lot of resources on how we can help. So I'm screening this movie. I managed to get a hold of it, and I'm screening it here at the university, right here in this room, this coming Monday at 6:30. And right after the movie, we're going to be able to have a live Skype discussion with Robert Billimer, so that we can ask him questions about the film, about his experiences, about human trafficking as a whole. So I know that schedules are crazy around here. So, if you can't make Karen's program, you can make my program. Vice versa, you can't make my program, please make Karen's program. But either way, spread the word. It's a huge issue, and it's becoming a huge global conflict, and it's something that you can definitely help prevent. So, get on it.
So I think I actually woke up from sleep or something at 3 a.m. and wrote that and sent it. But I wrote about imagination. I think of myself as a pretty creative person, or I try to be. And I like taking pictures, I like drawing pictures, but when it comes to having my own picture taken, I've always been really, really camera shy, and it took these girls like, I don't know how long to convince me to be in the calendar, and it was because of the calendar that I finally started like, sort of being more okay with having a picture taken and actually liking my picture when it was taken. So, and that was a huge thing for me, because before, like, oh my God, I never ever wanted to see a picture of me. And I wrote about imagination because I think that, creativity, creative thought is one of the most important tools that we have in reshaping the way we think and the way we think about ourselves and with others. So,
So I wrote about magnificence, and as you can see in my passage, it doesn't only talk about the beauty behind it, it talks about the beauty of oneself and everyone here, and inner, outer, it talks about everything, not just what you say.
Megan is one of Andrea's friends from back home, so she's not with us today, but we're glad she's here. Liz?
Hi guys. When I found out about the theme for the calendar this year, I was like, okay, I really want to be in it really, really bad. But then I was trying to find a word, and it was really hard. And then I started thinking about my siblings, and I'm like the older sister of two young girls. And I realized, like, the world they grow up in, they have so many negative influences around them. And I realized a lot of things I do is to help better their life. So I chose inspiration as my word.
Oh my God, let's make a picture. Okay, so here's the deal. I definitely don't have a shirt on, and this was something that we were debating back and forth. It's like, oh, well, is it a little risque putting a picture in? Is it not? We're already objectified that way. But that's the thing. I'm taking it back. It's mine, and I don't feel objectified because I embody resilience. I embody more than what you see in the picture. And if you take a second to look past the picture and actually look at what I've written in the paragraph, you'll notice that you've pretty much seen everything without ever having to look at the picture. And that was the point. Often girls are fixated on what they look like, who they have to impress. If you're not taking off your clothes and you're an object to be conquered, if you are taking off your clothes, then you're promiscuous and there's like no winning. And I wanted to overcome that. I'm way more than a picture. I've been through a lot in my life. I've been exposed to a lot. So, this is me turning my back on it and taking it back. So it's not like a full frontal pose, it's a back pose because I've walked away from every sort of stereotype, every sort of label, every sort of, object anybody would have wanted to turn me into. And, I don't consider myself ugly. My mother doesn't consider me ugly. She complains about my weight, but I've never been considered ugly. And that's been both a blessing and a curse at the same time. Because, you're always put up to a certain standard by a guy, by a magazine cover, by your parents, by people who expect you to do a certain thing. So this is me sort of turning my back on it and showing you guys that nudity is not the thing too long.
No, she's not
allows me to open to what is next, inspired by ideas and people profoundly committed to the work I adore. I do not see my cracks as scars to be concealed. They have been mended by fierce tenderness, love, friendship, understanding, and forgiveness. Filled with these, my broken places are precious, beautiful, and filled with possibility.
Oh, hey.
First off, I didn't have 2 words. Sorry. I didn't realize that. I guess for me, I chose passion because I am a graphic designer, but I have multiple other interests, and I believe that anything that you have a passion for leads you to better things. It leads to innovation. So it doesn't matter that I'm an artist and I'm supposed to be creative, but you can be creative and be a business person or be a doctor or be a teacher. And that's what I think is important.
Hi. I embody independence just because really, like, when you break your entire life down to the nitty-gritty, you really don't need anybody but yourself. And if you're okay with yourself, then everything in your life just seems that much easier.
Taryn is studying in Colorado. She's an alum.
Well, I chose 2 words also. Bravery and perseverance. When I was 4 and a half, I was in a car accident and suffered a traumatic brain injury. And the doctor said, oh, you're going to be a vegetable, that you're blind, you can't do anything with your life. And I'm sitting here now, living proof that if you believe in yourself, you can do anything you put your mind to.
I'm good. Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you want to say anything?
Actually, I might. Like when people first look at me, they see like a walker and just like they're very judgmental. But like if you look beyond that, like I want to inspire people that have disabilities to be something better and to like conquer their fears because it does get you far in life. And I've been through a lot in my life, and this university has like taught me that anything is possible.
So I also have 2 words on self-acceptance and happiness. And basically, I believe that everyone is their own definition of beauty because everyone's different. They're created different, and that's how we have to accept ourselves that we're different from each other. And I believe that the only way you can really be truly happy is if you can first accept yourself and love yourself for how you are and not want to change any part of who you are because who you are is who you are. And who you are is the best you can be, and that's all you need to do.
I too, a lot of us are saying that it was hard to find just one word about love me and body. And I thought about it and I wrote a couple different paragraphs, and this is the one that really stuck with me, and it just hit me. And something that people have told me since I was younger, I was always the different child, kind of more serious and reserved. And so people would always tell me that I had an old soul and that I was wise beyond my years. And I still hear it to this day. And so for me, I embody wisdom. But I attribute that to the strong women in my life. My mother and my grandmother who raised me. And
body and my feelings toward it have changed throughout my life. I've stared in the mirror and cried, wishing for better. I've celebrated its strength and have had my spirits crushed by its fragility. I've only recently realized how absolutely incredible my body is. It houses my essence. My body is the temple in which I fight for the morals I believe in. It embodies my passion for life, my resiliency in the face of all adversity, and my dreams for the future. And that is me and a bunch of incredible women. You can see Andrea in front. You can see Natalie too in the spot walk that we had at
Organized by really good friends.
Yeah.
So I chose to say that I embody acceptance, and that for me is twofold. I've had a really hard time with my body, and I didn't really realize that until I sat down in Mama's class freshman year, and it was beauty, body image, and feminism, and there was no escaping the fact that I had to think about my body. So what I became aware of thinking about this is that a lot of the judgments that I put on myself were the judgments that I was making of other people. So I was self-projecting my own insecurities and what I didn't like about myself, and I was trying to bring other people down with me. And so for me, this is twofold, like I said. Because I've started to find more acceptance of myself, I found that I'm beginning to find more acceptance of other people as well. And for me, it's really important to recognize that the people that you encounter in your life, even if they're your best friends or your family, you cannot know everything about that person. And it's really important for us to respect their story and their history and to not pass those judgments because we don't know what's going on. And then the nude picture, I never would have done that 2 years ago. You couldn't have gotten me to do that if you, so the fact that I can look at that and think that I look good in this picture.
So for me, I think determination and perseverance. Basically, a lot of things have happened in my life that I struggled through and let them bring me down. And only a few years ago did I realize that hiding from things wasn't going to be the answer, and I wasn't going to live the life I wanted to live. And finally branching out of my shell and doing something like this, I would have never done this when I was younger. I was shy, I was quiet, but I never would have accomplished what I have to this day and what I intend to accomplish in the future. But basically, it's just those two words basically just sum up what are important to me and what have gotten me through everything in my life.
Okay, so this is huge for me. I chose to embody courage and strength. And as you can see, I'm completely topless in this picture. And for me, this moment right now where I'm talking about it and it's displayed huge on the screen is the end of a chapter in my life. When I was 13, I went through something extremely traumatic. I gained 60 pounds after it. And I hid myself underneath layers of clothes every day. My hair was in a bun, I had a hood on, walked around hiding myself. And then I started losing weight, being healthy, joined Women for Change. I spoke out about the actual occurrence at Take Back the Night. And from there, my life has changed. And now I'm comfortable with who I am. I mean, there are days that I go and I hate my life, I say. But I really don't. And I mean, without Women for Change, I can't even believe that this is still on the screen right now. In this moment right now. I can see that every time I look at it. But, I mean, the fact that I have no shirt on, you can see my stomach and everything, I'm exposed, and it's just closing the chapter of hiding myself because I'm ready for the world.
But I will tell you that I am over 60, and this is what it looks like to be over 60.
I'm 3 times older than anyone else in the calendar. I get a whole sentence. Plus, it just shows I don't read the fine print in the email. Other than that, it does say a living, gift-giving spirit that energizes me and others through creativity and compassion. But I want to say this. Most people think that the real world is what you see with your eyes, can touch with your hands, the tangible, the material. But there's more to the real world than that, and you are witnessing to that tonight in your stories. That so much lives within us, and that's what I mean about this spirit, which is really an energy. And spirit is drawn to spirit, and there's some reason why our 2 institutions and our 2 programs not only were drawn to each other, but feel bonded as if they were 2 parts of a single entity. And that, in a sense, that's what happens in the physical world, in a plane which with the eye cannot see, in the subatomic level, cosmologically within us. We are joining with each other, circles and centers of energy. And we have the potential when we come together as centers of energy to do anything, to change the world, to better ourselves, to better our environment, and to make a difference to humanity. And so I was drawn to the energy of the women of this beautiful program, many of whom are also sitting in the seats here this evening. And I hope that this journey, I know it will continue, because once we come together, that memory remains forever, and you will always be in my heart.
So that brings us to our community partner, which is the Women's Leadership Institute. And I'll just read it. And then anyone, well, I guess I'm going to say it right. Beth. She is. She can say something about it if she wants to, or Joanne and MT could speak more if they would like. So we embody spirit and connection. The Women's Leadership Institute is an experience-based program founded by and directed by Dr. MT Winter. It enables women to develop and strengthen leadership skills from a feminist perspective. WLI is committed to developing an embodied spirituality grounded in the very real world of women's personal and public lives.
Want to say something, Beth?
I'm not good at the top of my head.
Fine. No, don't worry about it.
Being part of WLI has just been life-changing for me. Being with, I think it's a group of 35 women for a year, meeting once a month. I changed in so many ways. It was really unbelievable. And it's true, I think, that what MT was saying about once you have that, it really just stays forever. Feeling that connection with everybody. And I'm so amazed at all the things I'm hearing today. I just have chills and hair standing up. You're all so wonderful. Thank you.
So later, if people want to talk to me, Andrea, Bev, Sandy Machuchi's in the Women's Leadership Institute at this moment. Jennifer Sanborn went through it. The other thing is I really want to apologize. Becky Soplansky, who is an alum here, is in the, I put it was the right picture, and I apologize. If we go to the last page of the calendar, we can at least see, because I don't have your individual photo, but let's see, Becky, where's Becky? Yeah, no, she's really tiny. Becky. Say what? I really apologize.
That's okay. So apparently I did not also get the memo about it being one or two. Because mine was that I embody
Sorry, you have to read it off your tag.
love and respect for all creatures. So I didn't really put it towards like women per se, and it was more that like I've always been an animal lover ever since I was little, and I had always been like a dream to be a veterinarian, and it was crushed when I saw a dog euthanized, and I was like, there's no way I can do this. So I went on and I found like when I went here like a new career that I really enjoy now, but I always kind of felt like that something was missing. And it was one of those that it was just like, I had that love for animals so much. And when my cat became sick and I went up to Tufts to see a specialist, I was like, this is where I should have been. And so I was really starting to get down to myself about that because I was like, oh man, like I screwed it up. I should have not let my fears get in the way. And then I had another woman that was like, well, don't ever give up on your dreams. She's like, okay, so maybe you're not going to be a veterinarian, but your dreams can change as you grow up and as things change. And so then I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Like, never thought of that before. So then I started to volunteer at Cattails, which is a no-kill cat rescue in Middletown. And I have like filled that void, and I'm able to like not help just other people get a cat that can help build their life, but I'm also helping other cats that people have abandoned and have abused. So I just thought it was very interesting and very important to don't give up on your dreams, just try to look at it a different way.
That is all the women who are in the calendar. We want to thank everyone for their submissions and their amazing stories. Thank you for sharing with them today.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say, our Facebook, a lot of people are using it a lot lately, so check it out. We post a lot of things that you might find interesting, a lot of articles in the news, something that like, I don't know, people post all the time, anything that
Our events are always up there.
Yeah, all the events are posted, and we also have a Twitter account, which I just made. I post things also, like, the Facebook has a lot more done, so check it out.
And then we talked about Herbert and how you will be here for the Not For Sale campaign on November 21st, 1:45 right here. So I just want to remind you all, if you can be here, definitely please be here. We are about to start selling the calendars, and they're $10 each, and 10% of the proceeds will go to our community partners that we will allow, which we're very fun about. Before we do that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Beats for Life. I'm not sure I got to speak about to some of you individually, but basically Beats for Life, these beads are made of rolled up newspapers and magazines of scrap paper by women in Uganda, and they're given the skills so that way they can make these wonderful jewelry pieces, and they it's just a means for them to support themselves and their family because they're often living in poverty, and it gives them income and independence. And so as our mission for women supporting women, we are supporting these women in Uganda by selling these for life to them, and 100% of the proceeds go directly back to these women. So I just want to let you all know that they will be for sale. So that's it. We just want to say thank you.
There was one I really liked. I don't know which one it was though, but I was like, wow, that's pretty touching. You know?